One of the reasons that Gene Zoomcheck left R.A. Moog after working on instruments like the Synthesizer 10 and the 960 sequencer is that he wanted to design a simplified portable synthesizer at a time when Bob Moog did not. And after he left, he did. But how did it happen that this, one of the first modern portable synthesizers, is almost unknown compared to the Mini Moog and some other synthesizers that came out at that time? And how on earth did it later become a Moog product anyway? What secrets lie at the source of this strange outcome? Was there intrigue? Was Gene Zoomcheck's design stolen? Well, it might not be as sensational as all of that, but the actual story is even more strange.
In 1972, Moog Music released a dual-phonic synthesizer in a unique suitcase design. Its futuristic look and layout didn't resemble any other Moog products, and it didn't have the Moog sound we've come to know. This instrument was the Sonic 6. It was, at times, marketed as an educational Moog, and even Bob Moog used it for examples in his lectures. But it may surprise you to know that one of the major reasons it was so different was because it wasn't designed by anyone at Moog at the time. In 1968, Gene Zoomcheck got a summer job at R.A. Moog Company in Trumansburg, New York. He became Moog's second engineer and worked on the Moog sequencer, the 960. And in '68, the idea was starting to circulate amongst R.A. Moog employees that a portable synthesizer should be created. Bob initially resisted this idea. He wanted to make high-end compositional tools for composers and universities. In fact, the closest he came was the Synthesizer 10, which was a small-scale modular system that was actually portable. But the portable synthesizer was also about making a fixed routing product that was both portable and easier to use, which the Synthesizer 10 was not. Bill Hemsath, another R.A. Moog engineer, started tinkering during his lunch breaks and came up with the design he called the Min, which was the prototype of the famous Mini Moog. But Bob still resisted. Through a family connection to Zoomcheck, business owner Bill Watenna heard about the groundbreaking products being made at Moog, and then he wanted to get involved. But Bob declined. Bill was not deterred and decided to start his own synthesizer company. He convinced Gene that he should come and work for him, and so Gene left R.A. Moog, and Musonics was born. Gene worked with another engineer hired at Musonics, and they created the Sonic 5, a single enclosure, somewhat portable fixed signal path 2-oscillator dual-phonic synthesizer. Its unique design featured a diode ladder filter, which had a different character than the R.A. Moog products. As Bill sought funding and retail interests, he ran into an age-old problem. Musicians didn't understand the new technology, and retailers understood it even less. In 1970, R.A. Moog was also in trouble. The new market it had created was slowing down, and the Mini Moog wasn't ready. R.A. Moog was looking for buyers. Watenna realized that instead of having Moog as a competitor, he could just buy the company. And so he bought it in 1971 and renamed it Moog/Musonics. But Bob Moog stayed on with the company as the president, and Gene Zoomcheck, who had left Moog to create a portable synthesizer for another company, now worked for that company again, which had its own portable synthesizer. The Mini Moog and the Sonic 5 were showcased together at the Summer NAMM convention in 1971. But the Mini Moog seemed to be the favorite, and thanks to its marketing and sound, became the primary portable synthesizer for what became Moog Music. But Watenna wasn't done with the Sonic 5. It was decided that the Sonic 5 should be Moogified and made into an educational synthesizer. With its big panel and printed signal chain, it was ideal. It was also adapted to fit into a portable suitcase structure that was futuristic for its time. Later, the diode filter was replaced with a transistor ladder filter as per Moog's custom. But Gene Zoomcheck's synthesizer design still became a Moog product, and as a result, became fixed in history. A synthesizer that could have had long vanished into the past lives on now as a classic vintage analog synth, despite its strange and twisted history.
Gene Zoomcheck's innovative design of the Sonic 5 was one of the first modern attempts at a portable synthesizer. It's unfortunate that its release was thwarted by the events surrounding the sale of R.A. Moog Inc., a company he had left, and that then it sort of ended up playing second fiddle to the Mini Moog. If events had transpired even slightly differently, it may have preceded the Mini Moog and become famous first. But fate had other plans. We can be glad that Gene's unique synthesizer was eventually marketed and released into the world, though, and is now an expensive and even sought-after vintage design. The history of electronic instruments is as strange as it is astonishing.